Darrell Jazz Johnson, Gospel Herald, CitySportsReport.com, here with Memphis Grizzlies play-by-play, color analyst, Mr. Brevin Knight. Brevin, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, doing real good. Glad to be back home.
What's it like for you to come back to the East Coast? We know you're from Jersey.
It's always good to come back here. Got a chance to go see my mom and dad. Had a little lunch with them today. But it is still new in that one thing I never did, even being from Jersey, is take the subway. So this is my first time today taking the subway. I'm used to taking the train back and forth from Jersey, being on the side. So it was a new experience, but a fun one.
Good to hear. What are some things that you learned from your mother and your father as a young kid, as a teenager, that helped you get to where you were, being a great basketball player in college, then to the NBA, and now being on the business side of sports?
The biggest thing is always be ready for opportunities. It's one thing I tell young kids today is opportunities don't knock too often, but when the opportunity is there, you better be ready to take it. And I think that was one thing that they instilled in me and my brother. Always stay humble because you never know who you're talking to or who you run into. So always be respectful of those. And I think those things have carried us both throughout our lives and will continue to carry us.
So let's talk about the team that you are associated with. The Memphis Grizzlies have a great record, 26-11, but in such a tough Western Conference. First, do you ever recall seeing a conference this tough?
I don't think top to bottom you see as much parity as you see. Usually you will have top 3 or 4 teams that are the best, and then you have other teams that are fighting it out. But you look in the West, you're talking about 15 teams that can beat you on any given night. And so to see that many in one conference, it's the first time. But the good thing is that makes you bring your game every night. You understand that you have to get into a rhythm of playing well, because if not, if you lose 1, 2, 3 games, you can go from a higher seed to almost being out of the playoffs. So it keeps you on your toes, and it's a fun year.
Grizzlies has made a big move recently, bringing in Jeff Green from the Celtics. How do you think that move will work out for the team as the season progresses?
Well, of course, we'll miss Quincy and Tayshaun Prince, who were integral parts of this team. But we all know that it's a business, and one area that this team needed to get better was athleticism, especially at the small forward position. And Jeff has done it for a number of years. He was really good in a supporting role when he was in Oklahoma City. He was good in that role when he started in Boston. The last couple of years been a little bit tough, but anytime you put a veteran in a rebuilding situation where there is no winning on the outlook, then it's hard for those guys to produce. So I think he'll bring us the athleticism, versatility to play the 3 and the 4 position. But he's a guy that has won before, and it can never hurt your team to bring on more winners. And so I think all of those combined, he'll be a positive for our team.
Final question. The Grizzlies are facing a team coached by their former coach, Mr. Lionel Hollins. What do you think this means to Lionel, and what does it mean to the Grizzlies to be facing their former coach?
I think it's emotional on both sides. I think from Lionel's side, I mean, Lionel grew these kids grew up with him, and the team grew with him. Along with Coach Yeager, being on the staff with him for as many years as he was. So they'll have those feelings for one another, but you know both sides want to beat each other. And so I would expect for it to be a hard-fought basketball game. 2 coaches really coaching their teams to the best of their abilities. Some wrinkles will have to be thrown in because they know exactly what each other likes to do. But I think it'll be a hard-fought game, one in which the mutual respect is there, and they'll show that respect by playing their hearts out.
All right, thanks for your time.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.